Welcome back to the Mind Body Project. Thanks for taking a little time to join me today. Well, 16 years in the health and wellness industry, I'm still learning new lessons, still learning new things about people in general and things I can do better, things that I have not done the best at, and better ways to motivate and encourage and create lifestyle changes. So back in the day, it's probably 10 years ago, I bet, we'd have challenges. I'd have challenges with my clients, and we'd have these challenges, and they'd have to log food and do so much cardio. And it used to be, they say, we used to do 5 hours. I think it was 5 hours. It was 300 minutes of cardio a week, along with food logging. That was a challenge. You had to log all your cardio that you did, and it had to be 500 or 300 minutes, 5 hours. And then that's with strength training, is separate from that, and then logging the food. And, I had clients be successful, lose weight, different things. And as time went on, and things changed, read different research studies, found out that really, and that was long steady state cardio at the time. And, research comes out that HIIT training, high intensity interval training, is better. It's better for fat loss. Just because, your metabolism is increased for up to 24 hours following a HIIT workout. 20 to 30 minutes of a HIIT workout can be more beneficial, even with less calories burned during the event, long term to lose weight. But 10 years ago, I was like, we've got to do 300 minutes of cardio, we've got to log all this food, all this kind of stuff. And so as I go along, I find there's better ways to do things. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. You can be in the gym in an hour a day and get your cardio and strengthen and be very healthy, have the body you want. If it's dialed in, it's focused, it's an intentional, you can make a lot of progress in that time. And even knowing all that, I still get wrapped up in things. And maybe you've heard of 3 for 31. I've talked about I actually did a show about it, finished up last July. We did 3 for 31 with my clients, and my texting community. It was 3 miles a day for 31 days. You could walk or run it, but it had to be done all together. I actually shared the lessons I learned during 3 for 31. And so as it rolls around July again, I started thinking about doing 3 for 31 again. And as it got closer, I thought, oh man, I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to put in the time. And then I started thinking about over the year and all those that started 3 for 31 and really less than half that signed up and started say, hey, I want to do 3 for 31 in July last year. Less than half actually finished it. And then of those throughout the year, really didn't keep up, because it really didn't keep up the running or the walking that they were doing. Took a day off here and there, and then took off 2 or 3 days here and there. And so as I looked back at that and I thought about it over the year, I thought, now, my goal was to get them to start changing some habits, start doing regular exercise, thinking about whether it's walking, running, whatever it is, start doing it on a regular basis. And so I thought, we'll go extreme, we'll go hard at it for 31 days, and surely that will encourage, inspire, get the habit going, habit rolling. We all hear 21 days to form a habit. It's not true. On average, it takes about 100 days to form a habit, so we were only about a third way there to form a habit. So I thought about, maybe it's not an effective plan. If we go hard for 31 days, we do 3 miles, and then everybody starts to, I'm going to take a few days off. Man, that was every day. I'm just kind of tired. I'm going to take a couple days off. And that starts to grow into more days. And so we've all heard of 75 hard. That's another extreme where you do for 75 days. I think you do 45 minutes of a workout in the morning and then 45 minutes later in the day, but one of them have to be outside. You have to drink so much water, maybe read, do some other stuff. But again, for 75 days, that's what I would call extreme. Just like 3 for 31 was extreme. And I rolling into July, I thought, I just don't want to do that again this year, because I really want people to have a healthy lifestyle, to make some lifestyle changes. And because I tell people all the time, if you come to me and you're looking for quick weight loss and you're looking for quick get in shape, I'm not your person. I'm not your guy. I'm not your personal trainer. I want to change your lifestyle, change your habits for long-term success. Because we can do it quick, but you can go right back to where you were before. So why don't we take the time, because you've been this way for, if you're 50, you've been this way for the last 40 years. So why not spend the next a couple years changing it forever, so you don't keep yo-yoing back and forth. So I always encourage baby steps, lifestyle changes, choices, habits, instead of the extreme. And again, this was just last year, and I thought this, as I said, 16 years, I'm still learning. So I decided to do something different this year. This year, we're going to do a challenge for change. I kind of did a challenge with my small group training class, and it was love yourself. And so they got to choose, how many days a week they worked out, and half of those had to be in class, but they got to choose their challenge. And so we're doing the same thing similar for July, is challenge to change. So the participants will come up with their own challenge. What do I want to do? It can be exercise, diet. It can be some other personal habits, something they want to change in the coming future. For me, I'm still struggling with getting all my reading done. So for me, it's going to be 20 minutes of reading daily. And that's, for someone that's a reader, it doesn't sound like much. If somebody said, I'm going to work out 30 minutes a day for 31 days, I'd be like, well, I do that anyhow. But it's all individual to what do we want to see improvement in. And then, so yes, are we still down for 31 days? Yes. But the participant gets to choose what they want to change. And it's really about consistency. And then we're going to have a follow-up in August, which is we're going to still do that same thing that participant chose to do, but we might do it 3 or 4 days on average for the month. So now we decreased it. We're still doing the same thing. We're just not doing it every day. So now we have kind of a plan as we taper off. Kind of like training for a half marathon. At the last week, last couple weeks, you have a taper. So you taper down your mileage for that big race day. And so that's kind of the idea is we're going to, 31 days, we're going to do our goal. Not crazy, it's not outrageous, but it's going to push us a little bit. And that's what we want. We want to push a little bit. Where a lot of these hardcore challenges, 3 for 31, 75 hard, there's all sorts of different ones out there that push really hard. They're extreme challenges. And will you have change in those? You bet you will. You will see some change. But will it be lasting? The minority will carry that on. The majority will not. So why is that? What's the draw to a hardcore challenge? It has a duration. Okay, I can do this for 75 days. I can do this for 31 days. I can do this 14-day slimdown. I can do it for 14 days. I said I can't eat a bite for 14 days, but it's 14 days, I can do it. It has a duration. It has a specific target. 3 miles for 31 days. 75 hard, you got to work out 45 minutes here, 45 minutes there, drink your water, read, do these things. Got to do that. Slim down for 14 days. I don't even know if that's a plan. But, I'm only eating 500 calories for 14 days. It's a slim down every day for 500 calories. And there's some clear sense of purpose. I want to get my miles in. I want to do this extreme thing. I think Beachbody used to have one as a 21-day fix or something like that. Again, it's 21 days, you're going to do this, this, and this. It has your set duration, it has a specific target, and it has a clear sense of purpose. And also they also offer immediate reward. You have increased energy because, man, I'm doing this. Your improved mood because you're telling everybody, oh, man, I'm doing this. I'm doing 3 for 31. Man, you just ran a mile. I'm doing 3 for 31. You're all energized about it. Your mood's good about it. You have a sense of pride when you're, I hit my 3 miles. Oh, well, man, I'm at 90 miles already. We just got 2 days left. So it has a draw for that because, and it does. It will. But what happens is those day 30, day 40. What about, I know, the 3 for 31, it was challenging. It was, yeah, this is fun, this is good. 7 days into it, it's like, man, this is a lot of work. For me, I also said, I'm going to run my 3 miles for 31 days. So, whew, that's a lot of work. That's getting up earlier. That's missing out on some of my workouts. That's missing out on some things. So it all maybe started increased energy and mood and meeting those goals, but then it kind of started not having all that energy and mood. It also has a limited time frame. Don't we all know, wait, I got to do this for life? I can't do that for life. When I have clients that'll come and say, I need to lose X amount of weight, or I need to get in a dress for this event. Maybe it's a wedding. Maybe it's, a family reunion. Maybe it's a class reunion. It's, whatever it may be. I need to get where I want by here, so I can do whatever you tell me to. So with that limited time frame, it creates a sense of urgency and focus. Oh, okay, I can do that. But what happens when that time has now gone? Oh, I can relax a little bit. I can kind of take it easy. I don't have to work so hard. I can be a little more lenient on my food. It's going to be okay if I skip the gym today. We start to get that. And a hardcore challenge also says, it's an all or nothing mentality. So we're going maximum effort for that amount of time. So what happens when we stop it? It's like, oh, man, I don't have to do that. It makes so good. And so why do those challenges, and again, they're great challenges. They work. You can get some real success out of them and have some real progress in them. But now, why don't they create lasting habits? Why not? It's because what happens after? I'm done with 3 for 31. Now what do I do? And so taking that of okay, this didn't last when my participants did 3 for 31 last year. What was missing? I didn't have a follow-up. I did have a follow-up. It was due a mile, I think, for every day of August, maybe. So it was a reduction. But still, it was, again, every day. So it needs to be whatever same thing that challenged you in July needs to carry out a reduced rate in August. So what's September, October? September, we might keep it the same. It still may be 3 days or 4 days a week. And then October, I'm going to continue that. And then you start to see that it forms a habit. My goal is that I read for 20 minutes every day in July. I keep it up for 3 to 4 days a week in August. And I go, I'm really getting through my book list that I wanted to. I'm going to keep doing that because it makes me feel better. And that's when the lasting habit really connects. When it's not about I have to do this, I want to do this, or I get to do this. When we start out, it's I have to do this. I have to exercise for X, Y, and Z. And then you start realizing, man, I just feel better. I have some better energy. I sleep better. We have all these positive, I just feel better. And that's when the switch happens, when we start to get that feeling where it's connected to our emotion. And then another challenge, why challenges don't last, is because we return to a less rigid routine. It's just more like, 3 for 31, you couldn't miss a day. You missed a day, you were out. There's no makeup, nothing like that. Whereas when we have a less rigid routine, it's like, if I miss a day, it's not going to be the end of the world. And that's true. But then that day turns into 2 to 3 to now a week to now it's been a month since we got on the treadmill because we burned ourselves out on 3 for 31. And then, we often return to our less active behaviors. Again, I'm good if I just walk 10 minutes on the treadmill. I feel pretty good about that. Or it's okay if I just read 5 minutes. And aren't we good about talking ourselves into things? Well, you're okay not to read today. Tomorrow, you just read an extra 3 pages. Then tomorrow rolls around, man, I got to read that plus 3 more pages. I don't have time today. So now you might be 10, 12 pages, 15 pages behind in 3 days when you start to read again. It's like, I'm so far behind. My plan said this, and I'm already behind, so now I'm not even going to read. I'm just going to, and that's what's happened to me. My goal was a book a month, and we're 6 months, about to hit July, in July, and I've read 2 books in 6 months. My plan was to, I had a good plan, write down each book I was going to write each month, but I stopped there. I didn't figure, this beginning of the month, this is how long, because I like to listen to it on audibles and read it in the book, because it just helps me concentrate on the material better. My mind doesn't squirrel as much, or doesn't go willy-nilly, as I like to say. So I do both. So I can easily look at the audible time and go, okay, let me budget that time this month. How many days a week do I need to read to make sure I hit my goal on time? I didn't do that. So my goal is, that's something I want to change. So that's why in July, I'm reading 20 minutes a day. It's going to make me say, okay, how far along am I going to get? Then in August, I'm going to continue that. Another 20 minutes, but 34 times a week, okay? Now I'm kind of on a routine. I'm kind of getting this habit. I kind of enjoy it. I'm learning a lot. I'm enjoying it. And then we move on and keep it a habit. And sometimes, when we hit those goals short term, we hit that 3 for 31 in 31 days. It kind of makes us sometimes feel, I did good. I got 96 miles. 96 miles, that's pretty good. I'm pretty good with that. And we start to get complacent, like, yeah, I did good. And then our drive to sustain that level of physical activity starts to go down. It starts to get reduced because we go like, man, I did good. Man, you did so good, you deserve a break. And then we just get complacent. And when we get complacent, what happens? Our drive goes away. What happens when we lose 10 pounds? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I can go ahead and have that candy bar. Yeah, I can go ahead and have that second helping. What starts to happen? We get complacent. We get comfortable. And then what happens? It starts to creep back on. Yeah, I don't have to be nice to this person today because I've been nice to a lot of people and I've been nice to them a lot. And we start to get complacent with not being nice all the time, not being so kind all the time. And then we start to go back to our old behaviors of being grumpy, of being, not a fun person to be around, not being kind. We start going back to that. With these challenges and why they don't last, because just like 3 for 31, I didn't have a great plan for the people when they finished. I didn't. I just thought that they're going to keep going. Why wouldn't you? You just knocked out 96 miles. You committed to 3 miles a day for 31 days. If you're walking or running, it could be anywhere from 25 minutes to an hour. You just crushed that. Why would you stop? It never dawned on me really to have a continuation plan. And that's a lot of times when we finish something like that, we don't have a plan to continue. What's our next plan? It may not be as extreme, but what are we going to next? I always have to have, throughout the year, I always have to have goals. A lot of times they're physical goals because I can get lazy and complacent. I can be the laziest person. I can sit and watch TV and I love it. So I have to have goals that get me up to, what does this run need to accomplish today? What does this walk need to accomplish today? What does this time in the gym need to accomplish today? What does the food I'm eating today need to accomplish? What's my goal? Because for me, I need that to keep driving me forward. I need those. And so for me, there always has to be, after I finish a challenge for myself, or, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Just like started this year, before my birthday, 48 miles by 48. That was gearing me up for my big 2-year of to beat obesity over the next 2 years. That's a big goal. So for me, that's a long-term goal. So every month for me, how am I going to keep up with that? How am I going to keep that focus? How am I going to keep that in mind? So for me, I'm going to do something different every month. And maybe I'm going to alter my food. I have some different workout ideas. This month will be this type of workout. The next month will be this type of cardio. It'll be all kinds of different things, but it's going to keep my body guessing, but it's also going to keep me engaged in it. Wow, man, what's this month? And I already know when I get done this month, I got this coming up this month. That's going to be good. And so there's a plan along the way. And we really want to, hardcore challenges, again, they're not bad, but they don't help it last. They don't help make those changes. We need to, they're good. They're good to kind of get us some energy, some motivation, some boom. But know that we got to have a plan following, because we want to focus on the long-term lifestyle change with the gradual progress and the ongoing support. Because aren't challenges, and I'm guilty of that. Last year, 3 for 31, I gave them all the support every day, texting, hey, how you doing? Did you get it? What issues do you have? Man, I'm so proud of you. What happened the next month? They didn't get all that ongoing support. They didn't get that, man, you're still doing good, keep it up, don't let this fizzle out. I didn't get that. That's me, I dropped the ball. And that's what I'm saying, in 16 years, I'm still learning. I'm still learning what people need, how to encourage and motivate and create those long-term lifestyle changes. By creating, man, we're going to hit with a challenge, but let's have a follow-up plan. And a challenge is good. I'm not saying it's bad. Sometimes it can get you going. But know that when it's done, you need to have a follow-up plan. And it needs to be a challenge that is going to spur you on to something you want to do. That's why for July, I'm giving the participants in my challenge the option to choose their challenge. Whatever area of life they want to work on it. Knowing that you want it to become a habit, you want to change. And then I already have a plan as a trainer and a coach to how we're going to follow that up 3 to 4 days a week. Then I'm going to be working on a plan for September. How we're going to keep that going. And I'd really like to keep this just be the start of the change. So by the end of the year, it'll go, man, I started that back in July, and 5 months later, 6 months later, I'm still doing that. Man, that was really good. I don't want them to look back and go, man, I did that for 31 days, that was cool, but man, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't want that. I want me to have a lifestyle change, to be a person that reads on a weekly basis and can get through a book in a month. You won't think it's that hard, but to somebody to read, it's not that hard. But I want to be that ongoing support, and I'd love to be that ongoing support for you. You can head over to aarondegler.com and find out how you can connect with me via daily text, via email, one of my coaching programs on personal training, whether it's online or in person. There's options for us to connect and for me to help you with that ongoing support of what you need, what you want, and help you stay focused to make those long-term lifestyle changes through gradual progress. Hey, thanks for visiting with me a little bit today. I tell my wife Kim every night before I go to bed, it's bottom of the ninth, double A, out.